Okay, here's a couple little tricks for you that will help you out in the kitchen. Okay, one of the things I do, instead of worrying about making ice cubes and opening an ice tray every time I need to get a drink, what I do is I take and I run hot water in my sink, okay, and I take my glass or mug. You can use a glass mug or a plastic one. I prefer glass. And I fill it about an inch deep in water, hot water. The hotter the better. Okay, it only has to be out of the faucet hot. It doesn't have to be boiling or anything. And then I take these and I place them in the freezer, okay, so that they will freeze. And then what I end up with is an ice cube in the bottom, about an inch deep, and a frosted mug. Anything I pour into this stays cold. I do recommend that you refrigerate whatever you're going to pour into it because it will melt the ice cube quickly, just like it will in any other glass. But it keeps your drink cold. You have one ice cube to deal with, and it works great. You can do it in glass or plastic, it doesn't matter. And here's what you end up with in, an hour or so. Notice there's a nice big ice cube at the bottom. Okay, and as the ice cube melts, it'll float to the top and continue to keep your drink cold. You don't have to open ice trays or anything like that. And if you notice, the ice in the bottom is about maybe an inch deep or a little bit more, and the sides are all nice and frosty. Okay, that'll keep your drink very nice and cold while you're ready to drink it. Enjoy. Thank you. Here's another little life hack that a lot of people aren't aware of. This is a box of aluminum foil. And if you look at the end of the aluminum foil, you'll find little tabs that are like little triangular shaped tabs. And if you push those in, that helps to hold the roll in place so that when you do pull the aluminum foil out, the roll doesn't pop out of the box. Well, here's another little trick too. If you are trying to tear your aluminum foil, okay, see what happens when you tear the aluminum foil? Now that one came out pretty good compared to most of them, but I found a little trick. If you tear the foil away from you, it tears so much cleaner and neater. I don't know why tearing it away from you versus tearing it towards you works better, but it does. But you'll notice that the edge is nice and crisp and clean. Okay, versus this one here that has chunks torn out of it. And I have had pieces that would tear off about here and do this. Okay, which is a wasted piece of aluminum foil because it probably won't fit what you had in mind to wrap with it. But if you tear it off this way here, it comes off nice and clean. Okay, on bananas. Bananas have a tendency, once you get them home, to ripen really fast. I found something that helps to slow it down just a little bit. Not that it slows it down a lot, but if you take a piece of string, okay, and tie a piece of string onto the end of it and just tie a simple knot, it doesn't have to be anything special, and then cut off a length of string like so, and take it and tie it up on something like one of your cupboard doors, okay, and then you can tie this off to itself, okay, and that keeps the bananas from laying on something such as the counter or anything else that you're looking for. And if you tie a slip knot in it like I just did here, you can leave your bananas dangle from the door. They don't seem to ripen quite as fast and they won't go rotten. And if you want to remove them, all you have to do is pull the slip knot and let the bananas slide right off. I live in a small apartment. I don't have a lot of place to store tools or anything like that, and I use some of my tools quite often. So what I've done is I took a piece of pegboard, I attached it with anchors to the door, and I put some little bushings in. I don't know how well you can see those. They're just little nylon bushings, and that holds it out about 1/4 of an inch or so away from the door so that I can get behind it and I can put in hooks and that sort of thing. And I have all kinds of things stored in here: pliers, string, duct tape, my PVC cutter, a staple gun, my fly swatter, okay, nut drivers, screwdrivers, a file. I have other little things, packages of hooks and whatnot, screws and nuts and bolts and whatnot, a hammer, a glue gun, all of this is ready right at hand. I even have an extension cord in here so that whenever I need something, I can get it reasonably quickly. It takes up almost no space. Okay, trying to drag out a toolbox or a tool bag every time you need tools doesn't really work. I've got 6 screws holding it. 1 in the middle on each side, 1 on each corner, and that's all I have except for the little white bushings, which I hope you can see those very well there. I've got 1 under each screw, and this stores just about anything I need at hand at any given time. It was inexpensive. It only cost a couple bucks for the pegboard. It cost a couple bucks for the hooks. But everything is ready and right at hand.